Hello, hello. Good
Hello.
evening. Hi, good day, guys. Hi, Brandon. Hi,
Hello.
Ken. Hi, everyone who dialing in or play back this video. My name is Everett. Here again at our Mental Fitness number 13. Wow, I'm so glad to have you all again. For those who tuning in live or play back this video, welcome. You can feel free to join our session using the link shared by the comment there. Okay, let's check the comment again. Haven't shared yet. There you go. Okay, you can actually join here and discuss about to our topic. Our topic today is common myth about emotions again. Common myth about emotions again. I think why we say myth about emotion is that I don't think everyone would translate the emotions in a same angle or sense perspective most of the time because it's like sometimes I don't think I'm feeling angry, but others will think that I'm feeling angry. That's the different perspective already, man. You see, everybody have their own ruler. So today we're gonna discuss about the common myth, meaning that even though the same word emotions to everybody could be different meaning in some place. So we're gonna explore about it lah. Maybe we have some throw in from maybe Ken. Do you think you have any myth about emotions on your mind?
Uh, Actually, no. I was hoping you could say what are the common myths, so I could explain. But just now you mentioned something that's very interesting. You mentioned that I might not be feeling angry, but other people might feel that I'm feeling angry.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to my mind is I don't care what other people think about me. I don't care if they
Feel
think
the
I'm
belly
angry
cat.
as long as I. But then there's another way. Right? Sometimes when you go out, you try to explain something, or you try to express, or you communicate with someone. The goal is to actually communicate instead of actually, try hoping that whatever you say, the other person
Communicate
will.
means two ways lah. It's not jalan sehala. It's two way lah.
So an example is like if I try to sell someone a product, right?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of thinking he or she should know that what this product does, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that, okay, what's the price you want, right? I should be better at communicating what this product is about. So a lot of people sometimes, and I notice sometimes even in jobs or projects and all that, when someone asks them to write a report, they will write a long list of report that covers A to Z because they don't know what the boss wants or what the other person wants, so they write everything. Uh, that's what I've been doing as well when I first started. But now my report maximum 1 or 2 pages to anybody at all, because the main thing is not to show that how smart or clever you are that you can write so many words. The main thing is for the other person to you're trying to say, and if you can explain something to someone in under 1 minute and that person can understand it, a person,
Mm.
for example, you try to explain technology or AI or whatever or cryptocurrency to someone, you can explain it in a way that is not complex and very simple. That
Mm.
means you really understand the project. You really understand the subject matter rather than
Understand the
and
situation now. Yeah.
because the objective then is to explain so it's the same thing with emotion, I guess. If you try to explain to someone what you're feeling now, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people tend to say, oh, what should I say what I'm feeling rather than what I'm feeling right. A very simple approach. I think we did an experiment the other day when this Brandon wasn't here. Like
Mm.
if I were 如果对你生气，现在我有2个方式来对你生气，
Mm.
一就是我直接说我关掉了
Ah.
deal 了。二呢，就是我就是说，哎，因为你说的话让我很生气，我觉得我们没有办法继续聊天下去，我们下个星期再见面。OK，我先关掉了。2个都是一样的一个表达，但是怎么表达，怎么样去表达，是会很
一样的
大的一个，
结果，一样的结果，但是表达的方式不同。
然后得到的感觉也不一样。
嗯
所以emotion common myths about emotion，有什么是有？Are there any examples of what other people think what emotions are?
Yeah.
For me, I think a lot of people are confused by what a lot of people really take a lot of what do you call it, importance into what other people should think I should feel right now,
Ah,
be with themselves and say, what am I feeling right now?
ah.
I think that is one of the most common
More
thing.
more clear about how people feel what I feel now, rather than what truly I feel. Sometimes even though what
And
the
always
actual feeling.
it's all combined together, where they themselves are confused about how they're supposed to feel.
Which one is right to me?
Mm.
How about you, Brandon? You think are you think the same as per Ken say like that's the common myth that you think?
I'm always intrigued by how Ken thinks, right? His perspective. Let's start with my common myth of emotions, right? About
Ah,
emotions.
wow. Okay.
Um, I still remember I used to think that emotions were useless. That's honestly what I used to, right? Common myth about emotions. I mean, when I read the title, that is the first thing that came into my mind.
Useless. Yeah.
When I was younger, emotions seemed like such a useless thing. Like,
Mm.
what does it do? It doesn't make you money. It doesn't. It is, people think that you are emo if you are displaying your emotions. And generally, I just
Wasting time, right? Most of the time.
Well, yes. Honestly, before getting in touch with this amazing technology, that's my common myth about emotions.
Yeah, yeah. When you say this, we take the right hand. I feel the same way as per you, like just now, because I think not just because of what we think it is. It's actually part of our education influence it, because part of our education and our generation, right? Sometimes and it is like don't talk too much, don't express too much, just do the thing I tell you to do what to do. That means that emotion is wasting time, emotion is bullshit, emotion too much. So control your emotion and do your work.
Unfortunately, that is the reality of a typical Asian family,
Oh,
I feel.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
However, that becomes much, much, much more complex when this Asian person grows up in their later years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not sure where our direction is going on this very interesting chat, but many Asians find themselves to be in a crisis with their emotions at the later stage
Mm-hmm.
because all their emotions in the past have been accumulated and were not taught how to regulate, how to manage those emotions. And hence it becomes a mental health challenge at a later stage.
When you say this, I'm just curious. Is it maybe I ask Ken? Ken, you've been abroad like Australia, I think, study, right? Is it
Australia and UK, yeah.
in UK? Is it to you? You think that Western they have a better, really most of them have a better, how we say, emotion control or emotion process?
I think they are better at expressing themselves
What?
compared to Asians, right?
Okay.
And Asians usually keep everything inside
Mm-hmm.
because they tend to follow what society thinks and how they're
Uh,
supposed to follow. Look at Japan, for example, right? They will be kind and smile at you, but in their heart, they'll be thinking how to stab you in the back sometimes. But throughout the whole thing, you can see how the culture is, and say, "Oh, Japan is so clean." It's a culture, right? It's a you see, there's a fine line between culture and being an individual. So I would say that culture is trying to follow the society's norm, trying to follow what society, like what Brendan said. Uh, Even our school days were different from the eastern and the western side, right? Western from young age they never wear school uniform since they started school, since they started kindergarten, and all the way until college. They call it college. We call it university. So in that sense, I think that itself prepares them for a certainty that they have, and they tend to choose the career path that they want rather than compared to Asian families, the parents choose the career path that for their children. So that itself, I think it's what was the question? You're saying that, oh, what is the difference between Western?
Yeah,
Are
yes.
they better at I wouldn't say they are better at managing emotions, but what they are better at is better expressing it. You express it more, then it's not bottled up inside, so that you don't have more to deal with. So I think in terms of managing, it's the same, but it's because whether you manage a whole big problem at one time or you manage small problems over a period of time. Of course, managing small problems over a period of time will be easier. So I think that's where we perceive that, oh, they are better at managing emotions. Actually, and for Asians, it's harder for us to manage emotions because it's bottled up for such a long time, and all of a sudden it all comes out. So it deems harder to manage, I believe.
So that makes the difference is actually they are more easier. They will say they're easier for them to process their emotions because it's not accumulated like so long. Too long time, a long period.
Perhaps I can add. I think what Ken is saying is that they are better at articulating the emotions, putting a word to how they feel at any point of time.
Yeah. We practice most of the time, right? And they can
Compared to
precisely
Asians who
say
tend
what.
to are emotionally inward, maybe because they don't know, maybe because it's a norm, maybe because they are brought up that way. Don't cry, finish your food, just don't cry. That kind of thing.
So
Since young.
So it's like, okay, now come in to, let's say this the room of talking chat with a psychologist lah. So came in a Western guy. He was like, I'm feeling this A B B B C D and sometimes the D and plus D D E F, and now I'm feeling T X Y Z. But Asian guy came in, so I'm feeling a little bit A and A and A maybe. I think it's A lah. Sometimes a little bit. How is it? B? Is it called B? Is it called B? Is it?
Then suddenly they'll say, actually, no lah. Actually, I'm okay.
Okay. Okay. This is more than just me. Okay. I actually put out some lah. So since you want to say that interested to know, is there any general myth? So let's see. Okay, the first one we have now here. Most of the thing people they think there is a right way to feel in every situation. True or not? Based on the sentence, actually first understanding, I would say, for sure, ma. Of course, in this situation, you should be calm and talk like that. This is the right way to feel, ma. Emotion, right? But if you go deeper to another perspective, as what our intended to do this live show. So we are here to explore more alternate perspective. When we put right way to feel, meaning that we are actually sometimes may ignore our true emotion. I mean, emotion is not like volunteer or maybe can be controlled. Like Ken say, he always tried some years to find out ways can we actually control our emotion. I want to feel happy now, I feel happy. I want to feel angry now, angry. But it's actually a chemistry effect. It's actually kind of like body reflect the emotion out. Is it true? Can be explained on this way. Emotion, how emotions happens. So let's say emotion cannot be controlled, right? So it doesn't really have a right way to feel in every situation because it is very individual. Yeah, for your, I would say for maybe this guy, he's actually in different position and different angle perspective. Then your right way to feel is actually different. Can we explain in this way? There's no right or wrong. It's just
No, I think this sentence itself explains what we said before, right? Where whether you're following society's norm or we're not following society's norm, being an individual. By being an individual, what it means is, oh, there is no right way to feel. What I feel is what I feel, and that is it. It's like the same thing when you said, when you explain it very well, even just now, when you said, you get a Western guy and come in and say, how do you feel right now? They will explain everything. And for typically Asian person, you say, oh, is it B? Feel B, right? So, oh, that's what I feel. Because they always, we were forced to answer the right answer. Otherwise, during my age, we get hit or caning, right? Which I get
Same
many
ah.
times. Which I get many times, even in front of the stage, in front of all the students, right? I get caned before, and not once. I did it over and over again until they gave up. But that was just me because I didn't want to be in the system, right? But that is how it is. We've been brought up in a system where we're supposed to. People tell us how we are supposed to feel and what is the right answer, and so when we go up, you see, there's a difference between HR in Asian companies and HR in Western companies. In Western companies, people want to go and see HR and talk about how they feel. In Asian companies, nobody wants to go and see HR. They wait for HR to call them. Then they and, wait for HR to call them, and then when they are in the HR, they try to answer the right answer. But there's no right answer when you're talking about emotions, right? So that's the big difference that you can see from how this will operate. So I think one of the myths that I agree totally is there's a right way to feel in every situation. Oh, I'm supposed to feel this, I'm supposed to feel that. But there's no right way. Whether you want to be truthful to other people, you want to be truthful to yourself. I think yourself is more important than other people. So it's a myth because I said it's right because it's a myth. But there shouldn't be a right way to feel in every situation. The right way is what you're honest to yourself and what you're feeling, and that's it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the fact should be there to actually validate your emotions. Is it, Brandon? Or what kind of word?
So a trending word these days is basically to be authentic.
Oh, authentic.
Authentic, authentic, right? So perhaps we can put the hashtag for some of our listeners,
Uh,
right? So
okay.
basically, being authentic is being real to your emotions, and so there is, like we always say in every episode, there is no right, there is no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad. There is only the emotions that you feel. And the more you bury it, the more, because it is not the right way to feel and you do not express it, ironically, the emotion will amplify. That's basically what I think happens. And when the emotion amplifies, if you don't do anything about it, one fine day, because of some random trigger, it will explode.
Mm,
Because
okay.
emotions are generally just an energy within. And yeah, why do we feel certain emotions? Because it's a warning sign to us. Why do we feel sad? Typically we feel sad when we lose a loved one. Why? So that we will treasure those who are still alive.
Mm,
Why do we feel angry? Because something that happened violates your core values inside. It triggers you, the anger. And the anger is the body's way to protect you so that you do something about it. So
and
just imagine if you want to be the right, you want to portray the right way to feel in every situation. One fine day, the emotions will overcome you. Hence, I think something that is easier to do would to be authentic, to be real. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. So I think the fact here is actually to be authentic, to be real, to be honest to your own feeling, and the fact which this myth saying here to put it short. So it's saying the same thing is important to acknowledge and validate our own emotions. Yeah, regardless of whether they conform to the society expectation, like Ken say lah. So like generally, the culture or the society might think that this is the right way to feel in this situation, but actually we have to like what you say, be authentic. Like whatever you feel is nature. It's nature. It means something, right? Like Brandon just shared. It actually come to remind you for something. If you're feeling sad, so meaning that this thing happened is important to you. You feel that way, and yeah, because like what you say, is something happened to your loved one. So this is really your true love.
Okay. Unfortunately, emotions, when they are seen on a case-by-case basis, it might be just as simple as that.
Oh.
However, because of the way that many Asians are being brought up, many things get compounded,
Mm-hmm.
重叠,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it may be just sadness, then anger, But all these small things, when you do not take care of it, it becomes a bigger and a bigger and a bigger issue until one fine day you find it difficult to breathe.
Mm-hmm. And it's very complicated, that feeling. You can't even say is it a sad or happy or feeling depressed or anything, because it's like you say, layering up.
Precisely.
Okay. Wow. All right.
Leading to an emotional meltdown.
Meltdown. Damage. Emotional damage. So the myth here is a pretty simple line here, but it could be how to say, a very good reminder to us, right? So to be authentic, to be real, at least yourself, your true emotion first before you want to do the right way to that society or to that situation. Of course, if you want to, depend on case by case. All right. Okay.
Maybe I can just add a bit of flavor today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there is a right way to feel, is
Mm-hmm.
there a left way to feel?
Okay. Oh, why always to be right thing is the right way? Sometimes I think about I don't know lah. It's not think about it. I mean, I really go to how to say, 我有去 try to 去思考 why right way is always the right. Why is it always right? Is it because of the earth is turning this way? It's not this way, anti-clockwise, so then go right way. Is it come from here?
Nah, just a pun. It's just basically to make fun.
Because we are one of the few countries that drive in the right way.
Right side of it.
You go to China, you go to America, they drive on the wrong way.
Okay, there's a bit okay, when you say drive on the right way, okay, the driver on the right side or the car at the right lane, that's different thing.
Both.
Because the driver at the right side, but
in Malaysia we always right because we always want to drive on the right lane.
When there's only two lanes, right? Okay, cool. Great.
I think we also inherited a lot of things from the British. Yeah.
Of course, right?
The road systems, the culture.
Yeah, and our constitution. Yeah. Okay, let's get another myth. Letting others know that I'm feeling bad is a weakness. How you feel? How you think, Ken? I mean, the first thing in your mind, do you agree on it? Letting other knows that I'm feeling bad is actually weakness.
No, I don't agree. It's a strength when you are able to express yourself without filter. When you are able to express yourself without worrying about what other people will think about you, that is a core strength that a lot of people should have. But unfortunately, I think a lot of people don't have. Fortunate for me because it's the same thing. Like I was just at the backstage. I was just talking to you. I'm looking at the graph and the chart of cryptocurrency market, and
Exactly.
you know how I always win and how I always know when to sell when other people are talking about this is the right time to go in. That's when I sell. So I always do what I'm not smarter than other people. I don't read. I don't know how to read charts better than other people. But my percentage of waste, percentage of losses, all without my one rule. I just do the opposite of what the masses do. What the majority people do, I do the opposite. And end up my percentage of winning is more. So like I said, letting others know I'm feeling bad is a weakness. It's actually a strength. When you're able to, I would say this is similar to the previous one where you're saying that, oh, there's a right way to feel, because that's what a lot of people feel is, oh, there's a right way to feel when I'm in this function, or I'm in this area, or I'm in this circle of friends. I'm when I'm with a rich circle of friends, I'm supposed to feel rich and try to be on the same level as them. That's when you start thinking, no, 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 I actually like this kind of food, I actually like this kind of car. When you go into debt for 5 years to buy a car they cannot afford, just to be in clique or impress other people that they're in line with. Yeah. So it becomes like, oh, no, no, I actually like this car. Like, it's your brain trying to convince your heart that you're doing the right decision. But is that what you really like? So that's why I say being honest with yourself is not easy to do, because you always get this thing. It's like a woman that falls in love with, or vice versa, right? A guy that falls in love with a woman, or a woman usually this happens with women, right? A woman gets an abusive husband, but she never wants to leave, and she's so beautiful and so killed mothers just to be with her. But she doesn't want to choose any of them. She chooses this abusive husband and stays in that relationship. Why? Other people outside looking in, they start to wonder why, what's wrong. It's not like there's 100 other people, guys, queuing up waiting for her, and she doesn't want to leave. It's because her brain keeps convincing her heart that this is the right person to be. Other people think he is bad, he's abusive, but there is this one time, intention, flowers, oh, he's not all that. So you're grasping at thinness. Two, your brain is grasping at straws and thinness to convince your heart that what you're feeling is the right way. It's not like you're the only stupid person because all my friends are telling me I'm stupid and I'm staying in this relationship. But no, I know, because I find all these small reasons. But she totally forgets all the other 100 guys that keeps giving her flowers every single day, right? Cannot be seen at all. Totally ignorant. It's just amazing how the brain and the emotions work and try to convince each other when they set the wrong signal, you see. So, I mean, I think that is one of the reasons where a lot of people feel this way or should feel that way. That is when it becomes like you don't even know how to be authentic to yourself. The authenticity isn't there anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
In another perspective, I totally agree. But in another perspective, it may be the heart that is convincing the brain otherwise.
Yes, the one telling, but as long as the heart and the brain is not being authentic to speak the same thing, then they a lot of people, I think it's very easy to realize what we want in life if the heart and the brain can speak the same thing. But a lot of times the brain wants this, the heart wants another thing. A lot of times the heart wants this thing, the brain wants another thing. And that's why a lot of people, they can't seem to find that passion and that's key to what they want, because it's always like positive and negative energy always pulling away from each other. So I think, I'll leave that
So how about Brandon? Do you
find
agree? Yeah.
to find what
I
your heart
think
and your mind.
I think a word to share is, as I always say, I just finished 2 day training, right? So words have power. The words that you use will determine the life that you lead. And the best thing is, words are free. So the word is coherence. COHERENCE. So the hashtag will be coming out soon. So coherence is basically, as what Ken mentioned just now, when the brain and the heart says the same thing. That's coherence. So incoherence, which is not being in coherence, is when the brain says something but the heart says something else. So coherence is when you are in the same direction together. When you are incoherence, you are generally happier, better, a more stable person. But when you're not in coherence, the body and the mind, it is separate. So many people cannot find peace when they are not coherent. And as we go episode after episode after episode, emotions eventually, when they accumulate, they lead to diseases. This is basically the mind and the heart or the body not being in coherence. So back to the myth, right? Letting others know that I'm feeling bad is a weakness. I would have to agree with Ken, right? Because on the contrary, being authentic might be better for you in the long run because you're not accumulating the emotions. You're not saying that it is okay when it's not.
When Brendan said the words like incoherence, the mind and the heart, when Ken said the heart in front of the mind is in front of the heart, it make me think of more general words lah. In general words is like do you love yourself enough? I mean, it's kind of like do you love yourself as per now, what you have now?
Present moment.
In your present moment, or you actually imagine yourself to be another person. I mean, like it's not the current one, and you are not in love in your current person. 不够自爱啊，就自爱啊。Could be in that way lah. Because when we are sometimes we think that I'm not in the current. I think I'm feeling bad to myself now. Maybe I'm doing the things that I do love, doing the job that I really think. You started to have a lot of bad negative emotions. You started to think this not right, that or not right. Like you said, is not incoherent. Every day you feel everything is not in right. Like everybody is doing things that against you. Then you starting feeling things is all messed up. So when you're saying if everything is in coherence, is synchronized, is in the same beat, then the song will be very harmonious, and everything. I think that guy or that girl will be very lucky, because they are happy with all this so-called positive energy. So the word here might be like try to love yourself much more. Could be. Try to love yourself more. The present moment.
You just said it, the present moment.
Yeah.
很多人活在昨天，担心明天，但是没有活着现在。Which means a lot of people, they live in the past or they worry about the future, but they are not living in the present moment. The key word is if you can live in the present moment without living in the past, without worrying about tomorrow, because you never know what tomorrow happens. What has happened has already happened. Don't let it affect your future. And as long as you're living right here, right now, where you know what is happening, what you're feeling, the only way you can know what you're feeling is right now. you never know what you feel tomorrow, and you always try to plan. Oh, I want to feel happy tomorrow, so what should I do now? What should I do now? Then you're not living in the present, which means in the present you're worrying, and worrying only.
Okay. So
活
back
在
to
当下。
yeah. So back to the myth, letting others know that I'm feeling bad is a weakness. So the fact is, like Ken say, just share now. Over here, he's saying that yeah, expressing our emotion is actually a sign of strength rather than it's a sign of is a weakness. Because generally, I don't know, to Brandon, in the first thing, I mean, when you see this line, is it most of the people will think this is right, letting others know it's actually a weakness. You're usually telling that I feel fear. If I go play bungee jump, I feel fear. I cannot. I can simply. I mean, I go there, shake. There's sign of weakness. If you 如果我们直接就去看这件事情，这样看这样子的表达，它其实就是好像在表达一个我的弱点。Rather than some of the people, right? Okay, let's just try. Even though his heart is actually pumping over, just go try, just try. I mean,
So let me ask you a question. Would you rather be scared before you jump and tell everybody, "Oh, I'm scared. I'm so scared. My hands are shaking," or would you rather while you're jumping, you're crying while you're going down, and then you show up, "Oh, you see this guy? He was saying that. Oh, no problem, no problem." Then while he's jumping, he suddenly cry in the midair, or he fainted in midair, whatever. Right? So which one would you rather? Which one is worse for yourself? Right? You would think that at first, oh, okay, I just pretend to be tough to just get through with it, right? Or you just express it out. I'm so scared, and then while you jump, you cry. It's okay because you already express it. Maybe you cry less, or maybe the fear is not there anymore. So, yes,
Or maybe you enjoy it.
it's the same thing. Like I said, you go to HR and you say, "Oh, how are you feeling? Do you like working here?" Yes, I enjoy working here very much. The boss is very good. Because they're afraid that we're saying that, oh no, I don't feel comfortable in this area or that area, or when my boss instruct me to do that. Instead of saying that, you say yes. So people take a word as this. Oh yes, okay. So don't change anything. You continue to be miserable, right? So I think a lot of people, they will think this way. I know because I've been that person that was thinking this way, right? Oh, and then what does that lead later on, right? I'll tell you what happened once I keep doing it. Then self-pity comes in. And when self-pity comes in, you get addicted to it like a drug. And you always say, oh, I pretend that I'm not hurt. I pretend that I'm happy doing what I don't like to do. And then later on, who is there to pity me? Nobody, because everyone thinks I'm okay. I only pity myself. And when you pity yourself, it becomes an addiction, right? It's a drug where, anything you do, I do it for the world. I do it for society. I sacrifice myself, and I pity myself. That leads to a lot of negative things, and you will be in a very very dark place. Right? I dare to say this because I've lived that. I've lived both. I would say I've lived both sides of the life, the dark side and the bright side, whatever you call the bright side and whatever you call the dark side, right? And that's how I know. And I mean, I'm not good at expressing it because I never really study it. But I only study it for myself, how to be better. And that's what's gonna lead to when they do that. It's like, oh, I'm not happy, but I pretend to be happy so that other people will think I am happy because that is the right way to feel. And then who else is left to pity you? Yourself. And when you start wallowing in self pity, I think next comes is depression.
so that actually express your negative emotion.
There's no negative emotions, you see. It's just whether it's just emotions. There's no bad emotions, I would say. Yes, they are negative, positive, but you can turn a negative into positive. You can always turn sadness into a positive thing. Imagine you don't feel sad for the rest of your life. You need sadness because you watch a movie, you cry. That is a good positive. You turn a negative into a positive thing because it shows that you're human, right? You did something wrong. You were driving and you knocked on a cat and the cat got injured. Imagine you don't feel sad. You just keep driving. because the sadness is there, it makes you to react in a way that, oh, you're supposed to get down and try to help whatever, the dog or the cat or something.
Or drive safer next time.
Yeah. So there's always this. It's what makes us human is all these emotions. So it only becomes negative if you turn it into a negative thing, or you let it control you.
Yeah, it's actually what you said is actually lead to another myth, which I already prepared. Is actually this one: negative feelings are bad and destructive. You know, by seeing the line, maybe most of the people will say, "Oh, it's true, right? Right? You negative feeling is bad. You don't need to have negative feeling. You have to be positive." I'm just especially Asian education kind of like, "Oh, you have to be always 正能量, happy. You know, throw away the sadness." But what you said just now is that actually sadness can, if you is not negative at all. It's actually rather how we choose to express and respond to that emotion. Like because you see you feel sad because of the cat things, right? But you choose to be more sympathetic next time, or you feel lovely to animals already. That's the positive thing already. It's not negative at all, right? So who can say that sadness is actually negative feelings? That makes sense, right? Yeah. Wow.
Where
Okay.
did you search this? I didn't
Google.
discuss this before.
Google.
Okay.
Yeah. Another very general myth is like being emotional means being out of control. Yes or no?
Both. Depends. If you let the emotion control you, then you're out of control. If you can control that emotion, then being emotional is okay. Right?
One thing is when we say emotional, is it means that only those angry or sad thing, or kind of like most of people think that the negative emotions are negative emotions
Oh,
is emotional. Actually, feeling exciting also like emotional, right?
yes. Because
So
if you
can be
let
happy
excite
until out of control, right?
if you let happiness, it's the same thing whether you let sadness or happiness control you, right? If you let happiness control you, you think it's a good thing, right? That leads to addiction because you let the emotion control you. You say, oh, I'm supposed to work tomorrow, but my friends ask me to go out to party now. That excitement gets me going out, disregarding my work tomorrow. So it's whether you because you let that emotion take over you, and you do that, it leads to a negative outcome in your life. I wouldn't say negative emotion because every emotion is the same. Even you let excitement control you. Oh, okay, yeah, let's go party, drugs, right, alcohol, whatever, women. So whether you control it or you let it control you, it's the same thing with sadness, right? If you let sadness envelop you and control you, then you lock yourself in. You don't want to see anyone. Then depression comes, and depression follows. Then you let depression take over your life. You let excitement take over your life. You let happiness take over your life. Then it leads to probably addiction. So there's always two sides in every.
Whoa, ding. So, yeah, the fact is, you can control your emotion rather than what kind of emotion is fine. Is that, or maybe your emotion can be in intense or overwhelming times. As long as we feel that we still have the ability to manage it, then it's fine, right? I mean, there's not bad thing to be emotional, right? As long as you still can control it.
If you watch a drama series, and a lot of girls they love drama series, right? In one episode, you can laugh and you can cry. But is that a bad thing? Right? It's not. It's just how we follow.
Ah,
That,
I think of one situation is like, one of my friends drive. Every time drive, he will express the emotions. Why this car drive like that lah? Why is it so slow? Ah? Why drive on this line? Ah? Why you cross the line? Ah? Why you drive at the middle of the line? Ah? Why?
I would say that it's more, instead of expressing emotion, that's more complaining, because it's rather than, oh, I feel that this guy shouldn't be driving this slow, compared to why this guy drive like that. Why this guy drives so slow? It sounds about the same, right? But the difference that it creates, that psychological and emotional thing that it creates within you is different. By asking why is this person in front of me driving? Why do I feel that this person is driving so slow in front of me? Now you ask yourself, why is this guy driving so slow in front of me? So one is complaint, one is expressing emotion. It's a fine line. It's a very fine line. And once you know how to differentiate, then you start to see,
A fine
expressing
line
emotion.
differentiates them.
Yeah.
So my question is actually back to that situation, like you say, the fine line. There's how the guy expressed the emotion or expressed the question that he wanted to ask. Why this guy died over there? Is it when we say we can actually is letting other know that I'm feeling bad is actually a strength. So the letting other know, meaning that you are letting other know your emotion, but without emotional. Is it correct?
Okay. Let me give you an example, right?
Maybe some words, right? Chop for a while, expressing the emotion instead of being emotional. Does that make sense?
So
Expressing the emotions out of you instead of being emotional.
so one is more like active. You want to express that. One is more like passive, like emotion control you. So different is it like that? Or maybe we do a sample kind of like how is it to be expressed? How is it to be emotional in the same situation?
Like, for example, I was feeling anxious and I was actually quite sad to see my uncle suffering stroke last week.
Okay.
Right? So I am expressing my emotions rather than, hey Brandon, what happened? Nothing lah, nothing lah. What happened? Nothing, 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 nothing. Can you see? In the first part, I was expressing my emotions.
How about let's say the third one is like, hey, what happened, Brandon? I'm worried about my uncle lah.
Okay.
I mean, with more emotional kind of expressing.
It's actually good, right? Being able to express articulately how you feel, right? Ironically, will let the emotion subside.
So the keyword here is that what you say always and before the episode we did is like how you feel. It's rather than, let's say just now we're saying the car situation is like, I'm driving the car. Yeah, this guy why always do like that? Why always drive that? But he actually didn't express the emotion. He only complained that particular things happening. He's not saying that I'm feeling very angry to see the guy cross the road lah. This should be the right way to express the emotion, right?
Let me share with you a very recent example, right? I fetched my two girls to school, right? I'm also in a group chat, a parent group chat for my two girls, right? So I observed that there is this one parent, right, who always complains. Wow, there's this driver, he almost killed us, right? So when it happened the first time, I'm like, hey, wow, this driver must be quite bad, for her to say that. Oh, you better have a lookout of this driver. But when the same thing happens over and over again, you start to wonder, is that driver bad or is her emotion, or is she being emotional? Can you see where I'm getting at?
Yeah, but that also
Whether or not is that one driver bad, really bad, or is she just seeing things because she is emotional? Like, for example, your friend complaining about everyone in the car or everything outside the car, right? You are sitting beside that person. Do you see the same things? Or does he or she, does that person see what he sees because of the emotions inside? You know what I mean? This is
yeah, but sometimes we will say that there's different kind of perspective. You know, you might think that situation is very bad, but I don't think that. There's different angles. You know, things like that. But back to the what we want to discuss is actually how is it to be to express the emotion in the correct way is very important. Because when we say just now with the myth is like to letting other know that I'm feeling bad is a weakness. It's actually a strength. So some might think that then I just express my emotion. So to express emotion, some might think that when I said I just to be honest, authentic and be sad lah. Sad lah, so sad lah, sad lah, sad to zone lah, to the limit, to the bottom lah. And then I show everybody I'm very happy. So to show to happy is not enough. Is it? To say that I'm happy because of what is very important. Is it?
The ability to express. I am ... because ...
So this is the only magic line or magic words to be really honest to yourself, to tell yourself, not to other people, I mean mainly to yourself, that to process your this emotion, this is the magic kind of code. 这个秘诀，那个好像 it's kind of Bible, you know, it's a kung fu 秘诀。
I wouldn't say that's the only way, but I think it's one of the simpler ways. Why? Because some people, they tell you all the facts, but they don't tell you anything about the emotion. Because all these years that they have been brought up, they were trained not to talk about their emotions. 你不要哭啊你啊，不要哭。They were taught the right way to feel.
Because why I ask this is like it made me think about sometimes when we was young times, right? We have a lot of beer times or with some friends also. They will talk about all kind of like things that we feel that's not right lah. They will talk about drink after few glasses already, and talk about 1 hour, 2 hour, all the way. Then the last round when she's already in the emotion already, I'm really sad about this, you know. I see this boss, I see this girl, I see this guy, he's like, I'm really sad, you know. Then at that time, only he can close the conversation, talk about other things. So it's like watching a movie. You talk about how the story went and what they did, how they did, but at the last, you must do this thing. It's like a goal, you know. I feel very sad to this guy. I feel very angry to this guy. If you don't say this message, it's like,我聽到咩啊? So it made me feel like asking the question is like, is the so far the strongest magic word is like to acknowledge yourself that you feel this way because of this thing. Then only that emotion is being processed instead of the previous 1 hour about all this situation.
Okay, here is the challenge, right? Very often, when you feel something, it is not because what happened last week, last month, or last year. Let's make that very, very clear. You may be triggered. You may be triggered by what happened last week, last month, last year, but that emotion has been accumulated throughout your life. I repeat, what you are feeling now is not a result of what happened last week, last month, or last year, but an accumulation of that specific emotion throughout your life.
They mix this fact just set out the biggest myth. The biggest myth is that we think that what we feel now is because totally for that particular. I mean, the emotional is totally because of that particular thing, but it's actually not. It's actually mixed up with kind of like accumulated emotion, energy happened previously. Similar situation or kind of that.
So I encourage you to have a deeper conversation with your friend who always complains about,
That's
the other driver, the person crossing the road. Have a deeper conversation and see where that leads.
But even though they notice that the emotion is not from this particular car driver's problem. It could be about the work lah, or because of other things that it accumulate the energy so that they complain the guy or the car. But when he acknowledged that, expressed the emotion, saying that I'm so angry about this guy drive car like that lah, but it's actually not resolved the others issue, right? You have to be honest, remind himself like, your energy, you're feeling upset or angry is actually because of that thing. Then only it will be processed, right? It makes a lot of sense.
Aha.
Because a great myth is like people saying that I have this feeling now, like very sad. As long as I just say it out, I will get released. But it's actually not.
They are only dealing with the triggers, 导火线, but they are not dealing with the root cause.
Yeah, it's settled for now lah. It's settled for now. But as those are dependable, every individual, they wanted to resolve it or not. Yeah, there's not right or wrong, good or bad. Let's back to the being emotional. Like Ken say, being emotional means being out of control. It's not really to be correct at all, but it's not really to be wrong at all. Because it's the important thing is like how we express your emotions. So, Ken, like what you said, like how you want to express. How is it in the like you throw your headset way, or is it you want to say it out in the correct way first? You wanted to like leave the conversation.
That exactly that. Like I was saying, that if you know whether you let emotions control you or you control your emotions, back to that. If I get angry, I throw the headset away and walk off. Right? That's letting emotion control. That's letting anger control what I do. But if I know I'm angry and I control my anger, I will say that I'm very angry now. Or if I'm really, really angry, I say, even I'm fucking angry at you right now. I can't even talk right now. We're gonna continue this next week. If next week I still feel the same thing, we're gonna end the stream right away and won't talk anymore. So that's it. I'm closing the stream right now. Hope you understand. Thanks. Bye. That's me controlling anger, but I expressing it and letting you know I'm angry, right? Instead of just throw everything and just walk off, then you'll be what's happening, right? So whether the other person gets the message or you expressing it in a way that you let emotions out of control, that emotions control you. So it's how I think back at and it takes a lot of training to control emotions, right? And but in a way that you're still expressing, and at the same time you're still controlling that emotion.
There's need a lot of practice. I would say kung fu.
Yeah. It's like driving a car. You need a lot of practice until you can drive with one hand and with one eye closed while eating a hamburger, right? Everyone can do that now. It's not like,
And
oh,
replying to messages.
exactly, and look at the phone and replying SMS, replying once and not even calling and replying messages only. We can all do that comfortably right now. Whether it's illegal or legal is another way. But everybody can do that. Most of the people can do that. Why? It's not like, oh, because this person is smarter and this person is cleverer or this person has better genes. Everyone can do that. Why? It's just training, right? Because we've been driving because we are old. That means we've been driving for 20 years, 20 plus years of experience. Yeah.
Yeah. So cultivation means 修行呢
Yes, seriously. That's why the Japanese they find joy in bonsai. They find joy in Zen.
matcha.
Yes.
Mm.
Although it's a simple movement, but to do something really well, like to be authentic, to be in your emotions, takes lifelong practice.
All right, let's discover the last myth we have today. Okay, let's pick this one. Okay. My emotions are who I am. I would say most of the time when we have, I personally, I have this thought is like when there's a situation, all individuals feel that way, then I am the one who feel the other way. So I would think that my emotions makes me who am I now. But over here, it's actually a myth to emotions. Do you agree with that? It's actually a myth to saying that your emotion is who you are. Like here, supposedly, most of the people is calm, but you are the one feeling angry. So to saying your emotion is who I am. So you are the angry people are always angry one. I think this the thing that this line wanted to say to mean. I mean.
For me, it all goes back to individuality, right? And what forms individuality? What forms individuality? Is it emotions? Is it work? Is it upbringing? Is it childhood memories? Is it experiences? Is it friends? Is it the country where you stay? It's all of the above, right? It's everything. It's one big circle. So emotion is just a part of it that forms individuality. But my emotions are who I am. if this sentence is true, then everybody's the same. Like you, me, Brendan, everyone is exactly the same. We're exactly the same people because that's who we are. Why? Because every single individual in this world will go through all the emotions. So does that mean that all these emotions add up becomes who you are? Right? Because everyone will go through sadness, happiness, excitement, anger, everything. All the emotions, we go through it. Now the question is, what is the percentage of aggregate emotion that you feel right now and compared to last time? And I'm just saying that, last time I'm an angry person. I'm a very angry person. I'm a very sad person. I'm a very frustrated person. And I always complain at everything. But I don't complain at myself. I complain at the world. Why is the world treating me this way? Why is this car driving so slow? Why is that person this way? Why is that person this way? Why can't these people understand me? All the complaints are outwards, right? So I'm a very angry person, very lonely person, very sad person. Lonely, why? Lonely because I feel that I can't mix with other people because the thinking is not the same. They're supposed to understand me, not the other way around. How I'm supposed to express myself to make them understand me. So the whole world revolves around me, one person alone. That's what loneliness is. Anger, of course. Then get into fights. I get out. I never follow any rules. I try to get out of the system. I think that is the important part that plays to my individuality, where then I get to think out of the system. So my emotions are who I am. I would say yes and no. It depends on, like, back to the thing, whether you control your emotions or you understand your emotions, then you understand who you are. But if you don't understand who you are, it don't means you don't know who you are. And when you don't know who you are, you let other factors in life determine who you are. And then you think that is who you are. It's like the Asian type of childhood upbringing in school. Oh, you're supposed to do this, supposed to do that. All Asians are supposed to be only three things: doctors, engineers, accountants, or lawyers.
Lawyers,
Oh,
lawyers.
yeah, only these three things. Other industry, no, not good. Right? So it's cultivated to think that way, and is that who you are? So I think my emotions are who I am. It really depends on whether you understand who you are first. Then that becomes who you are, and nobody can change that. Nobody, no boss, no other factors, no financial problems can change that the moment you understand who you are as a person. And who you are as a person, is it determined by emotion? I would say no, but it's everything in the life.
Part of it,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just part of it. So my emotions are who I am. If you think that that is the way, oh, my emotions are who I am, then you're letting it control you and you're letting it define who you are. If you want to define who you are as an individual, what I like, I think most of the main part, it's one big part, but the main part that forms what a person is passion. How do you find your own passion, right? When a lot of people, they come and ask, hey, is it time to invest now? How do I back it? I just want to be rich tomorrow, right? How is that passion when you just want to sit down and wait for money to drop and do nothing? To them, that's passion, right? For me, before, that's passion as well. Of course, everybody wants that. It's one thing, but is it passion when you do nothing, right? When you ask someone that is retired and has all the money in the world and has nothing to do, and it's a fact, you see. I'm rambling a bit here, but it's a fact. You see, most people after they retired, they die within 5 years. Doesn't matter what age they retire. They retire at 50, retire at 70, retire at 80. Within 5 years, statistics shows this, that they die. Right? While they're working, they don't die. The moment they stop working, they die. Why? Because I think it's a way of how, passion starts our engine keeps moving. So I don't know the answer to this. My emotions are who I am. To me, is I would say depends as well. Depends on, do you know who you are? If you know who you are, then you know, nothing can define who you are.
Yeah, I think Cam actually explained most of it. How about you, Brendan? You had anything to add on?
Mm, I would think it's a huge myth, because the emotions that we feel, again, most of the time, did not was what you felt is merely the trigger,
Trigger, yeah.
right? So the root cause has been accumulated
Yeah,
year after year, so many years in the past.
yeah. This by this line is, yeah, truly saying that this myth is the biggest myth already. The fact is that, like Ken said, the emotion is actually part of it to shape you up. Like So the fact they're saying that, like exact like Ken say, I think this article is made by Ken. Emotion are part of us, man, but they do not define us entirely, right? We have emotion, thoughts, or behavior. So it's important. It is important to recognize our emotions, accept them, express them authentically, all right. But also to acknowledge our strength, value, and goals. Okay. I like this. Emotions can be a valuable source of information. That reminds me why we need to actually uh, take emotion, how to say, to take emotion serious on it actually a data of your body. Like Ken say just now, saying that, oh, your mind need to join with your heart. Your heart is means our body lah. So, but
Coherence.
how to do the coherence? Like when you do know what your heart thinking, so the emotion giving you the, you're happy, but your mind saying that I shouldn't be happy, I shouldn't be sad. Now then you are not incoherent. So meaning that your mind trying to be like kind of like robot or something, not listening to your body one. Then you are not you are diseased already lah, starting to kind of like you are feeling disease. Then your life doesn't go easy already anymore lah. So it's very important to accept the data. This is how you feel really right now. Right now, and then process the data. But like Brandon say, your what if the data is not really immediately could be just trigger to what happened at the past, accumulate some energy. So one of the best way to find out where's the trigger. And now we're so blessed to have these tools, like to do the scan here, like where I have Brandon here. You do a free scan now by just recording a 3 minutes voice. Then you can actually come up with very great reports to show you your frequent emotion, your core emotions. So you can trigger. How to say it? You can actually resolve in the right way, and precisely way.
Understand.
To be understand. Have more data. Data like this world nowadays we are more to know. We are more understand what's data meaning in this era. Like when we have more data, then in a more organized way, then we can see things clearly.
Yes. So record your voice today, understand who you truly are, and not what your emotions are currently telling you.
Just
Huge difference.
Just scan the QR code and get a free scanning and more understand to your own emotions and your current state of the current state of the emotion and physical health as well. I remember. You also show your physical health. So cool. All right, thank you very much. Thank you, Ken and Brandon. Today we are actually resource more than 5, I think. So by one myth and they relate to another myth and another myth. So we actually now is more understand to emotion is really is more important data of your body. Okay, to be conclude, it's more important to put data to your body, and it's really important to be authentically and express and to honestly express your emotion in the right way, so that we can more understand to our body and to achieve the coherence within the mind and the body. Cool.
All right.
Thank you. So I will good night and see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.